All right, I'd like to call the May 20th meeting of the Wheaton Park District Board of Commissioners to order. Mike, please take the roll.
Commissioner Vanderschaff.
Here.
Commissioner Schobel.
Here.
Commissioner Morrow.
Here.
Commissioner Mee.
Here.
Commissioner Hodgkinson.
Here.
President Kelly.
Here. All right, tonight we have no presentations that I know of. Who's got the sign-in sheet for community input? I don't see anybody here, so there's no community input, right?
Sir.
All right, consent agenda. Before we make the motion, there is one correction on the April 15th regular board meeting minutes. It shows Commissioner Schobel as being present at the top and then absent during the voting. Mark was not at the meeting, so Mike will make that change on the official documents. Yeah, and that's right. Items C and D, the Finance Subcommittee meeting minutes and the Buildings and Grounds Subcommittee meeting minutes were not finished, so they're not included. We'll email those to you as soon as they're done. So I need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Move to approve the consent agenda, items A and B only, approval of disbursements totaling $969,719.84 for the period beginning April 8, 2015, and ending May 12, 2015. And B, the approval of the April 15, 2015 regular meeting minutes with that one correction.
Second.
Mike, take the roll.
Commissioner Vanderschaff.
Yes.
Commissioner Schobel.
Yes.
Commissioner Morrow.
Yes.
Commissioner Mee.
Yes.
Commissioner Hodgkinson.
Yes.
President Kelly.
Yes. Unfinished business, item 1, purchases and service agreements over $10,000 and under $20,000. The first item is Euclid Beverages for purchase for the Brewfest at Memorial Park at a cost not to exceed $13,912. I need a motion.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Kim?
So, Andy, is this to you?
Sure.
Okay, how are you basing your purchase quantities?
Well, what we do is we get through Euclid, who we're looking for here. They have a certain amount of craft beers. They have plenty of craft beer companies that they have within their umbrella, and each craft beer vendor has 3 beers per booth.
Okay, so, well, it's more around quantity because this is the 5th year, I believe, or is it only the 4th year? And, okay, so I'm just concerned about what you're going to do with any leftover, so how you're basing your quantity so that you won't end up with any leftover.
For the most part, we usually do have a little bit left over, but once we usually get in kegs, not in bottles, because obviously it's less waste. But if we have any beer left, once that keg is tapped, the beer is no longer.
Okay,
So it just becomes waste.
you don't take it to Arrowhead or anything? Okay.
Any other questions? Okay, that's a purchase. Mike, take the roll.
Commissioner Vanderschaff.
Yes.
Commissioner Schobel.
Yes.
Commissioner Morrow.
Yes.
Commissioner Mee.
Yes.
Commissioner Hodgkinson.
Yes.
President Kelly.
Yes. Item number 2 on unfinished business is approving the purchase and installation of 2 hot water heaters at Arrowhead Golf Club at a cost of $17,401.58. I think everybody got the memo and you're aware of what happened. Within the same week, we had 2 hot water heaters rupture in the actual storage vessel. And the way the building was originally piped, there wasn't individual shutoffs on each of the hot water heaters. So if we would have pulled one out, we were going to have to drain the whole building. We have to do it at night shift. Staff went out and got 3 bids for similar hot water heaters, similar efficiency, same size, same BTUs. We got bids on 2. The building is set up with 4, and 2 of them ruptured, so we got bids on 2. Staff called me. I got involved. I talked to a couple engineers because I had a couple ideas for doing something different down there. I met with Arborist Estimator and the owner from Arborist, and we agreed how we were going to do this on off hours. We did a little bit of the work on off hours so we could get 2 up and running, and then we were able to do the rest of it on straight time. So that was that extra change order that We had authorized for about 1,900, but we told them to do a T&M not to exceed, and it cost about 800. And now we're set up with, we can valve any one hot water heater out during the day for service. So, Neil did an excellent job on getting the quotes, and I think he'd been repairing those with Band-Aids for at least a month before I found out about them, and we just couldn't stop the problem. Mother's Day was coming, so we went ahead and did this. We're looking for the board just to ratify the action.
And approve the purchase.
Second.
Questions or comments? Okay, Mike, take the roll.
Commissioner Vanderschaff,
Yes.
Commissioner Schobel,
Yes.
Commissioner Morrill,
Yes.
Commissioner Me,
Yes.
Commissioner Hodgkinson,
Yes.
President Kelly.
Yes. Okay, item C, unfinished business, hiring Fuarte Systems for replacement of damaged section of walkway pavers at Cosley Zoo, not to exceed $17,946.90. And that's another one where staff obtained 3 bids. We didn't go through a formal bidding process because we're not required to, but we obtained multiple bids, and copies of those prices were in your memo.
Second.
Questions or comments? Nope. Mike, take the roll.
Commissioner Vanderschaff,
Yes.
Commissioner Schobel,
Yes.
Commissioner Morrill,
Yes.
Commissioner Me,
Yes.
Commissioner Hodgkinson,
Yes.
President Kelly.
Yes. Unfinished business item 2, bid results and recommendations for the Atten Park tennis courts resurfacing project, and it's a recommended award to MTJ Sports for an amount not to exceed $82,695.
So moved.
Second.
Anybody have any questions or comments? Kim?
Okay, are we installing the asphalt as well, or is this just a type of patch repair?
This is it's a rubberized coating that's about 3/16 of an inch thick, something like that.
I'm not sure specifically. It's kind of like a floating floor that you'd have at home. So it goes on top, and then it has the ability to sort of move, and then that way the cracks don't reflect through into the surface.
Okay, so in the memo here, it says new asphalt is installed every 15 years. Do we still need to do that? How does this work now?
Since it's going on top of what's there, and we're going to fix the existing cracks that are in this asphalt surface, but then putting this on top of it essentially keeps that bottom surface from deteriorating any further. It's basically covered, and it can't get any worse.
Okay, so what is the cost savings over, I guess, the expected lifetime of the court?
Steve, you remember that offhand? We had done a report for this with Building and Grounds about this time last year when we had gone through the traditional process, looked at the bids that came in and said, if we went the traditional route, I can't remember the specific cost savings, but we did look at the lifespan of our traditional process versus this. And with the warranty, the rolling 5-year warranty on this, and not having to do, or having very limited maintenance over the time, we did see a cost savings versus what we're doing now.
And that was in the packet we got last year, and we did this last year when we approved just a couple of our crack fill painting projects, but it was determined we were going to try this on one court, so we put it in the budget for this year, and this is the one court. Okay. So we don't know how long it's going to last. It's a new thing for us. Staff has researched it for quite a while. We were a little disappointed we didn't get more bids on it, but we do have a bid that's fairly low, and staff has met with that contractor, and so is the manufacturer. And Buildings and Grounds is recommending that the manufacturer be on site during the installation, since this is our first one, to tell us, yes, we got, it was applied properly, and then we'll see if we get the extended life out of the court. Because the way we've been doing them, filling the cracks and painting them with a color, what do we redo that about every 5 years?
It's 7 to 8, but I mean, basically after the first year, we're starting to get a couple of cracks as it is, and it's those last couple of years, they're really bad.
So this is something kind of new, and until we see how it turns out, we're not going to run out and do them all, but, All right. Any other questions? Okay, Mike, take the roll, please.
Commissioner Vanderschaff,
Yes.
Commissioner Schobel,
Yes.
Commissioner Morrill?
Yes.
Commissioner Me?
Yes.
Commissioner Hodgkinson?
Yes.
President Kelly?
Yes. Old business, item number 3, bid results and recommendations for the Central Park Fence and Backstop Project. Recommended award to Northern Illinois Fence for an amount not to exceed $83,137. And we're recommending that this award is contingent upon the bid results for the lighting portion of the project falling within budget. So those bids won't be opened until next week, the first week in June?
June 2nd.
June 2nd. So what we're hoping is the board will approve this contract, but if those bids come in higher than what we have budgeted so that the whole job is over budget, we will not award that contract, and we would come back to the board at the June meeting with recommendations for changes or what we're going to do to bring the project within budget. But this allows us to get everything ordered and not waiting till the June meeting to go ahead as long as the bids come in for the lighting project under budget, enough to cover the overruns on the excavating portion of the project. Any other? All right, so I need a motion.
I'll make the motion to approve.
Second.
All right, any questions or comments?
If
Yeah, right.
the lighting comes in above budget and they have already ordered the fence,
No, we're not going to sign the contract till after the lighting bids are received, but we'll pick up a couple of weeks by doing it now versus wait until after it's approved at the June meeting.
Because the bids are being opened on the 2nd, and then we can sign the contract if they come in well, and then 2 weeks later or 3 weeks later would be the board meeting. So those are the weeks we would save, right?
So we would save, we'll save a few weeks in getting the fence order. We would like to get the fencing done this summer and get it on order. And
I was confused on the timeline.
yeah, so originally we were going to have the lighting bids at tonight's meeting. And there were a lot of questions that came up during bidding on looking at alternate manufacturers. The different lighting manufacturers might need different pole locations. They might need more heads, so the wire size is different. So we issued a design based on one, and then they're quoting alternate bids as another. But there's a lot of engineering they have to do to quote an alternate bid. They have to tell the lighting guy to tell them how many poles and how many lights he's going to need so they can increase electrical. And that might offset some cost savings in the lights. And once we had our pre-construction meeting and realized how long this was going to take, we had to issue an addenda and extend the bid another couple of weeks, so we weren't able to get it bid last week like we hoped. All right. So I need a motion to approve.
I made that.
And we had a second? All right, Mike, take the roll.
Commissioner Vanderschaff?
Yes.
Commissioner Schobel?
Yes.
Commissioner Morrill?
Yes.
Commissioner Me?
Yes.
Commissioner Hodgkinson?
Yes.
President Kelly?
Yes. Okay. So we're going to do this now, right?
Well, we had this on the agenda.
Oh, we're going to do this at the end, okay. All right, so new business. Tonight we have Judge Paul Fullerton here, and he'll be swearing in the newly elected park commissioners. Paul? So I'd like to ask Ray Morrill, Terry Me, Bob Fry, and John Virus to come to the front, please.
Hope they know that.
So Bob and John, if you guys would please take seats up at the front.
He's right.
John, why don't you get in a couple of pictures too first? Thanks, Paul.
Thank you, Judge.
Thanks, Paul. One seat there.
Oh, I get the left seat on the left.
Bob and John, welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, first item, our new business. I think it's time for us to elect the new board to elect its officers. So I'll take nominations or a motion.
I would move to nominate and appoint and then elect Jane Hodgkinson as president, Ray Morrill as vice president, Mike Bernard as secretary, and Rita Trainer as treasurer.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay. And now I'm going to turn the meeting over to our new president, Jane.
President.
I leaned over to Ray while our new commissioners were being sworn in, and I said, John, you were racing through the meeting so fast you weren't even waiting for seconds. You're so anxious to end this 3-year term here. But, John, we want to thank you for all of your service. You have done an outstanding job for the Park District, and you've just been incredible with everything that you've done. So we thank you very much. The next item on our agenda is the appointment of Wheaton Park District Board subcommittees, and we have the Finance Subcommittee and the Building and Grounds Subcommittee. And I wondered, John Kelly, if you would be willing to continue to serve on the Building and Grounds Subcommittee as the chair. Would you be willing to do that?
Sure.
A new Commissioner John Byers, would you be interested in serving on the Finance Subcommittee in addition? All right, very good. Would you be interested in being the chair of it?
Sure.
Okay, great. Do we need a motion to that effect? Okay, good. I like this. It's a very dim. We don't have this in my home.
You got a lot of power now.
What I'm going to do is let individual commissioners contact John Byers about the Finance Subcommittee if you're interested in being on that, or John Kelly if you're interested in being on the Buildings and Grounds Committee. Is that all right with you?
Yes.
Then we can, okay, good. All right. Then we also want to recognize our 2 outgoing commissioners, Kim Vanderschaft. Kim, we really appreciate your service to the board, and I believe John has a plaque for you.
Thank you very much for your 4 years of service to the patrons of the Wheaton Park District, and appreciate you.
Kim, is there anything you would like to say in parting?
Sorry.
So I'm surprised how quickly 4 years goes by. And I would, thank you, Jane, like to take this moment to thank so. And that would be my husband, Brian, and the residents of the Wheaton Park. Thank you, Brian, for the late dinner, the dog walks, and all the events you attended with me. You will be seeing him later tonight as well for the last time. Thank you to our residents. It has been an honor to have served, and and to have been a steward of your trust and confidence. Every decision and action I took was to ensure that our residents' voices were heard. I'd also like to thank President Kelly and Vice President Wheaton for their time and work, which very often went above and beyond. Good luck to the board and the staff of the district. I wish you all well in the coming years. Thank you.
Commissioner Luke Hans could not be here this evening. He's involved with, actually, I think something for a paying job for his work. So the next item that we'll move on to is our reports from staff. Mike?
I have nothing to add. We do have our 2014 annual Cosley Zoo report that was delivered to the board about a week ago, so you had advanced ability to take a look at it. And Director Walgren is here this evening to answer any questions you may have about the report.
Are there any questions?
Not necessarily about the report, but by staff reports.
I'm going to do that next.
However you want to.
Okay, I'm going to do staff reports next.
Zoo report?
Sue, you're going to give us a report? Okay.
Thank you, Sue.
Wait a minute, hang on, don't let her leave yet.
Steve, don't even let it.
No, don't let her leave.
Okay, do you have a question?
No, I just have a comment. Sue, that was a great intro. The message from you as a director. You talked about what we did in 2014. Basically, you laid out about 8 accomplishments. That was real easy to read, easy to follow. That was a good intro. Then you noted what you intend to do with the advances in the zoo's operation, and you noted those. So we had some historical attendance, and we're still the revenues continue to increase. I noticed that our revenues for April significantly eclipsed what they were in April of 2014. So we're doing something right here. But it was a great report, and to me it was easy to follow, and I appreciate it.
Sue, you want to add anything to that?
No, actually, they like me to be brief.
It's an excellent report. Thank you so much for your service. Okay, next we have the reports from Finance, Special Facilities, Marketing, Recreation, Parks, Planning, and Development. Questions? Comments?
Yeah, Jane.
Let's start this.
A
Ray?
few things. Are we doing anything in regards to concussions with Rams football? Are they taking any kind of action?
Well, we spend a great deal of time, effort, and money refurbishing our helmets on an annual basis to make sure that they are in strict compliance with the safety boundaries that exist for youth football. Beyond that, we have begun some education, and we certainly take a very strict approach to if somebody has become injured. A thorough evaluation occurs, and we receive doctors' permission from the to resume play. So we take it very seriously. It's obviously an issue that has been in the news for at least a few years now and continues to become more and more prevalent as it relates to sports safety. So yeah, we're on top of it, and I think we'll continue to see an evolution of participation, probably on the decline on full contact football in relationship to the lesser injury-prone flag football program, but we'll have to go from there.
The other thing, and I'd like to recognize Sally Oppenheim for all she does for this agency, well above and beyond her responsibilities as a secretary. She's involved with the coordinating of the taking of the pictures for youth baseball and softball, and 1,500 kids, putting them through the athletic center and getting their pictures taken is not an easy task, and she does a lot more than that above and beyond what a typical secretary might do. And so I think she's one of those unsung heroes that the Park District has that doesn't get the recognition that she does deserve, and so I do want to thank her. Let's see. Want to make sure that the board is aware of the May 30th grand opening of the Sensory Garden and Playground. I I think it's a neat facility, and it's something we all need to be proud of, and it's still got a lot of ways to go, but it's something I hope that the board members can attend that dedication. And then with the Consley Zoo Master Plan, I know you're involved in planning sessions. I would hope that the board will see a copy of it before it's finalized.
Yes, sir.
I think that's important that we give some input into that. So those are my comments. Thank you.
Okay, Bob, do you have a question?
I just had a question concerning concussions. Are we training the coaches for recognition of warning signs?
I'll defer to Mary Beth. I do know that coaches are provided with basic first aid awareness. We also at games do have, I believe we've had Athletico in the past, and we will use probably an ambulance service on site this year because of some legal issues we couldn't work out with Athletico concerning liability. But we do have at games, not necessarily practice, trained professionals on staff who can address a matter, whether it be a concussion or a torn muscle or a strained muscle.
Across all sports?
No, we do. However, we do have for larger events, such as we had I don't know how many, 200 teams in a soccer tournament this last weekend. And when we have large events like that, or a 5K, 10K run, we do pay ambulances to be on site, and we pay them because if we use services that are on schedule for the entire community, if something comes up, they're gone, and they leave for another part of town. It is not universal. When we gauge the level of possibility of injury based on the size of the event or the activity, and we plan accordingly.
I think Mary Beth wanted to respond to that,
Yeah.
too.
We also bring in from Central DuPage, Northwestern, however you would like to determine the name nowadays, a doc that will come in and talk to all of our coaches. We just did that with our baseball, softball group this past at the managers meeting. So it's a great resource that we have within our community to bring out.
And I think Bob's question was, are we doing that as well for the football guys, too?
Right.
Yeah, okay. And I saw that in one of the reports that we hired a site supervisor for soccer who's an EMT.
He happens to be an EMT, so
Yeah.
that was even beneficial to us.
So that would be somebody else who would be there who could recognize some things, too. So, great. Any other questions, Bob?
Nope.
Anything else? John? Mark?
Nope. Thank you, Madam.
Terry?
As long as we're talking football, Mary Beth, I noticed that the football participant numbers were slightly down and the soccer numbers were correspondingly up. Is that about the size of it?
That is correct.
Okay, cool. Couple of notes. I attended the recent Fly a Kite event at Graf. That was a great event. I mean, Mother Nature cooperated, but we had a lot of people out there, a lot of kites up there, and it was pretty cool. Mike was out there with his family, so they seemed to have a good time running around, as did you.
I did.
Cool. It looks like we had all the post-prom events already. Mary Beth, that's your gig, right?
That is correct.
How'd that go?
It went extremely well.
Yeah, well, we must be going on about 20 years, aren't we? Close to it?
It might even be a little bit more
Yeah.
than that.
All went well, though? Still
All went
St.
well.
Francis, both Wheaton North, Wheaton, Warrenville South?
Everything went well.
A lot of numbers?
Yes.
Good. That's good. Mike, not that we shouldn't recognize it as often as we can, but didn't we already have the Sensory Garden grand opening event?
What we did last late summer was at the conclusion of most of the construction for Phase 1, we invited all of our partners and donors and friends and well-wishers for a ribbon cutting ceremony. What we're doing later this month is a family welcome day where we'll now have all of the garden beds are going to be planted, and things are essentially spruced up for spring for its first full season. And instead of bringing our donors out and our partners out who help make it happen, now we're inviting the entire community for a day to begin to explore the possibilities of what that park provides. So,
I mean, I was there, so we expect to have more people there this time?
oh yes.
Okay.
Well, and I think we've invited a lot of families to come this time, so we hope to have a lot of kids actually using the playground that day.
If I may also, there's an event on the same day at Giant Steps. They're doing a kind of an open house cookout program. In Giant Steps is the school that's just on the other side of that Navistar parking lot, so our neighbor essentially, and they serve children with autism. And we've determined to partner with them, and since we both decided it'd be a great weekend to have a party, highlighting activities for those with the specific special needs, so we're all in it together. So it should really help with awareness.
Two more quick things pertaining to the zoo. Sue, how'd the Lincoln Marsh open house go? Or was the weather not good for it? Lincoln Marsh open house?
It went well.
Okay, thank you, Deb.
The numbers were slightly down because of the weather.
Okay, you're right next to there, Sue. The heck?
Didn't you know you were supposed to be there, Sue?
There's animals there. Did it go good, Deb?
It did. It went very well.
And, okay, now, Sue, we have Turtle Day coming up Saturday?
We do.
Is that going to be a big event or no?
It's a fairly low key. We have Chicago Herbal Society comes out and they have a lot of
Don't get to ride the turtles? Okay, cool. Anyway, so we will have some live turtles, right? Good. Thanks. That's it.
Are we trying to save the turtles? Not
Yeah, the Blandings
harm
turtles.
the turtles?
The
Okay.
Blandings turtles.
Any other questions?
No, I'm done.
Okay. All right. Commissioner Kelly.
I just had a question. I don't know if it's either Andy or Dan, but I noticed pool sales were within $5,000 last year on pool passes. How much do we historically pick up after the pool opens? I mean, we've gone down every year, and you think we might pick up the five?
Just look at it today, from 1st to the 31st. Last year we did about 50,000.
So we may have turned around the decline in pool pass sales.
We could catch up. They don't end until the end of June.
Okay.
Decline after June, and then we'll decide if we want to do a last month based on our figures and our numbers. So we still got time, and we're still trying to
Okay, great, thanks.
Madam President,
Yeah.
how's the health of Paul Stancic? How's he doing?
If I may, Paul's on the mend. He, for those of you that don't know, Paul had a heart attack recently, and fortunately, if this is any gauge of severity, he had a stent put in as opposed to major invasive surgery. And my understanding is that he's going to be back to work within the next week or so. Rob,
Hope so.
yeah, he's on the mend. He's doing well.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good. Any other comments? We've already discussed the Cosley Annual Report. We jumped down to that because Sue was up at the microphone earlier. Are there any other comments before we close? All right. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.